Hi everyone, welcome to our pet extravaganza. Today we're talking about those magical pets. Paya Dewey had a pet idea, and SpongeBob backed this wild plan as a pet store was nearby. But Paya Dewey seemed dissatisfied with the pets. Suddenly, he was excited like discovering new land. He had an intimate encounter with a fish tank, and upon seeing those adorable little creatures, love sparked in his eyes like fireworks. So off they went, but alas, Paya Dewey got stopped by the guard at the entrance since only real pets were allowed inside, and his pet looked more like a doorstop. "You can insult me, but don't you dare insult my pet." The guard, seeing this special pet, immediately let him in, praising its cuteness. Paya Dewey mimicked everyone else, rolling around with his stone, having the time of his life. Meanwhile, a scientist was on a quest for some boring old rocks. The scientist was totally uninterested because he had mountains of crystals already. Suddenly, he spotted a starfish playing with the stone, and his interest. He promptly tried to persuade Paya Dewey to lend his stone. Paya Dewey was furious, no free ride, but he'll lend it out of kindness. Saying so, he tossed the stone, and the scientist instantly felt existence's pain. After playing for a while, Paya Dewey gave a tug, sending the scientist drilling into the ground. The wild stone flew into the crowd, leaving everyone in shock. Now's a great time to name your pets and see whose is cuter. SpongeBob could only watch in disbelief, softly urging Paya Dewey to leave the scene. The buried scientist refused to quit, vowing to reclaim the stone. At home, he had Paya Dewey watch TV with it. He was enjoying his homemade sandy popcorn when, in a fit of excitement, he accidentally kicked the stone out. Sure enough, the stone caused havoc like a tornado at home, while Paya Dewey watched TV unconcerned. After 2.5 minutes of panic, Paya Dewey finally called his friend for help. SpongeBob figured that his pet must be hungry since a hungry pet could erupt like a volcano. So Paya Dewey prepped a bag of water rice treats for the stone, adding a splash of water. After the feast was ready, Paya Dewey treated himself with a bag of water rice, but preferred it dry. After filling up, he looked up in shock and saw the stone had grown. He couldn't wait to share this fantastic news with SpongeBob. SpongeBob reminded him pets may need to relieve themselves after eating. Paya Dewey thought, "Oops, I didn't plan a walk." Unbeknownst to him, the scientist was tracking his every move. Paya Dewey strutted down the street with his stone, and anything with legs was in peril of breaking them, especially the scientist. The scientist faced another attack. Paya Dewey smelled the stench, saw the dirty stone, and helplessly sought SpongeBob's help again. SpongeBob suggested giving the stone a bath since there was a spot for stones nearby, and Paya Dewey rushed there. But the spot had a tiny door. After a struggle, he squeezed in, only to be greeted by the disguised scientist playing the role of a staff member. Upon seeing the stone, the scientist excitedly rushed to touch it. Paya Dewey immediately warned, "Don't trick me into a membership." Saying that, he exerted all his strength to push, and it finally moved. Once prepped, the scientist intended to give the stone a serious operation, only for it to roll over and give him a side eye. When the stone reappeared, it was sparkling. Paya Dewey excitedly shared the news with SpongeBob. SpongeBob set the pet contest. Paya Dewey, upon hearing, rushed to the venue. "Can't miss this." Once he was up on stage, he enthusiastically showed off to the judges, only for one to say, "We didn't ask you to show off, we want your pet to show." Over the next 10 minutes, Paya Dewey showcased a wild stone circus act, but the stone went haywire, and all competitors were doomed. The ending was tragic. Only Paya Dewey survived, naturally winning first, thrilled as if he had won big. Confronted by the devious scientists, Paya Dewey wore a bright smile, as if treasure was within reach. He smashed the stone with a suitcase, it cracked, and a huge dinosaur emerged, instantly devouring the scientist.